Strategy Part 1. In this webcast we provide an overview of the building blocks of this course. Building blocks, corporate finance and strategic planning. In this course we try to bridge the gap between corporate finance and strategic planning. We start with the market value of companies in financial markets. The market value of companies in financial markets not only consists of the earnings capacity of assets in place, so this component has, but also has an embedded prospective value, the value of what the firm is going to do in the future. This is also named as gross option value. The gross option value is the value that the firm might realize under the right circumstances. It consists on one hand on a strategic value, the ability of the firm to appropriate gross options compared to its rivals, and on the other hand on a flexibility component. Because it's the value of what the firm is going to do in the future, it's adaptive. The firm can adjust the situations depending on the economic environment or the moves of rivals. If it's true that the market value of the firm not only consists of present value of assets in place and gross option value, we also have to take this into account in our valuation methodology. So our valuation methodology should not only take into account the present value of cash flows or the present value of earnings, but also some projects that might generate gross options for the firm. The strategic position of the firm. So in our valuation methodology, we have to take into account the value of future cash inflows using discounted value methods, but also some projects like R&D, exploration investments or platform investments in a new market might generate new growth options or have intertemporal path dependencies, and then new options come into mind. And because these future growth options are extremely sensitive on what rivals are doing, we have to look them in a competitive context, and that's what real options and games valuation is doing. We have to take the total gross option value into account the development of the external environment of the company and the actions of rivals in the valuation methodology. As a link between on one hand the quantification and on the other hand the market value in financial market, we have the different value drivers. And the value drivers are the link between strategic planning and corporate finance or quantification. So if we want to truly understand why the value of assets has such a high value in financial markets, we have to think in terms of competitive advantage. Competitive advantage is the explanation why firms do earn more than the opportunity cost of capital. We also have to think in terms of growth option and strategic adaptability. Why do some firms realize more growth potential than others? Why can they adapt to changes in the market more than others and opportunistically capture these growth opportunities? And also in realizing this growth potential, we have to think about the strategic position of the firm. Because of the historic investment and the strategic position of the firm, they might be better able to preempt growth opportunities compared to rivals. So to summarize, to bridge the gap between market value in financial markets of the company, we have to look also at the project level, not only to the discounted cash flow value, but also to the real options and the strategic position with rivals using game theory. And underlying that, we have the strategic planning process where we understand the strategic position of the firm, the strategic adaptability and competitive advantage.